Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. His Excellency Governor Shri Krishnanath Tripathi has already arrived. We are starting our today's annual conference shortly. Would request everybody to please take your seats. We are arranging for a few more chairs, so please bear with us.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Bengal Chamber of Commerce, it's my proud privilege to welcome our Governor, His Excellency Sri Krishnanath Tripathi, Honorable Governor of West Bengal. We also welcome the other dignitaries on the dais, Sri Alapan Bandopadhyay, Additional Chief Secretary, Department of Industry and Commerce and Enterprises, Government of West Bengal, Sri Shottam Rai Chaudhary, Co-Chairperson, Education Committee of the Bengal Chamber. Professor Bikash Sinha, INSA Honorary Scientist and former Homi Bhabha Professor of Department of Atomic Energy, former Director, Shah Institute of Nuclear Physics and Variable Energy Cyclotron Center. I would also request Mr. Professor Shoykot Mitra, Vice Chancellor, Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad, University of Technology of West Bengal, and Mr. Suborno Bose, the Chairman of the Education Subcommittee of the Bengal Chamber of Commerce, and Mr. Simarjit Singh, Vice Chairman, Education Committee, the Bengal Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and Director of the GIS Group. I would now request the Honorable Governor of West Bengal, His Excellency Sri Krishnanath Tripathi, to kindly formally inaugurate the program by lighting the ceremonial lamp. I'd also request the other members on the dais to kindly join him on the inaugural ceremony. Well, good morning once again, ladies and gentlemen. It is my great pleasure and privilege to welcome you all to the annual Education Conference 2019, organized by the Education Committee of the Bengal Chamber of Commerce and Industry. The Bengal Chamber of Commerce and Industry is India's oldest institution of its kind, tracing its origins to 1833. The Bengal Chamber has played a pioneering role as a helmsman, steering the evolution of commerce and industry in India, donning its multiple roles as catalyst, initiator, facilitator, business partner, and service provider. The Chamber has helped governments both at the center and at the state level in crafting pioneering and significant legislations, and also in the formation of a slew of educational and cultural institutions. The Chamber has envisioned reviving the legacy of West Bengal and reinventing it as the knowledge destination, with an aspiration to transform West Bengal as the knowledge hub of the country and later in Asia and the world. Kolkata can ideally leverage its advantage of being home to the intellectual manpower of the country. The Education Committee of Bengal Chamber of Commerce and Industry has been continuously working towards the progress of education. It has engaged with multifarious activities in all genres of education, endeavoring to create education for all. The committee organizes regular interactions, annual summits, international delegations with vision to promote innovation in education. The Chamber's objective for this event is to create a forum to bring together multiverse of industry, learning, and academia, inspirational personalities and thought leaders on a single platform to bring this overarching idea to life. We convey our sincere thanks to His Excellency Sri Kesarinath Tripathi, Honorable Governor of West Bengal, for being present with us today. We extend a warm welcome to all our speakers, most of whom have flown into the city for this program, and our partners for extending their support in organizing such a wonderful program. We also welcome our friends from the media and, of course, the delegates from the industry. The topic for this year's conference is very unique and in sync with the futuristic educational trends. We have chosen 21st century realities and learning, creating more polymaths as the theme of our discussion this year. A polymath is a person of wide knowledge and expertise. Polymaths continuously challenge themselves to grasp concepts of different disciplines, aiming to detect and integrate many disciplines around a core idea. New age education should aim to amalgamate various disciplines, create pathways for career opportunities for tomorrow. This signals a new dawn of singularity and of moving towards a specific goal, and that is a better future for all. I would now request Dr. Subhanu Bose, Chairman, Education Committee, the Bengal Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Chief Mentor, International Institute of Hotel Management, to deliver his welcome address. Dr. Bose, please.
His Excellency, the Governor of West Bengal, Sri Kesarinath Tripathi, Sri Alapan Bandyopadhyay, IAS Additional Chief Secretary, Government of West Bengal, Sri Sattam Rai Chaudhary, Co-Chairperson, Education Committee, Professor Vikas Sinha, Padma Bhushan and eminent scientist, Professor Saikat Mitra, Vice Chancellor, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad University of Technology, and Mr. Simarpreet Singh, Vice Chairman, Education Committee, Bengal Chamber of Commerce. Ladies and gentlemen, honorable delegate, it's a great pleasure for all of us to welcome all of you to this annual Education Conference 2019 organized by the Education Committee of the Bengal Chamber of Commerce and Industry. First and foremost, let me once again take this opportunity to most sincerely thank His Excellency, the Governor of West Bengal, for gracing this inauguration of this very important conference. The Bengal Chamber of Commerce and Industry is India's oldest institution of its kind, and tracing its origin in 1833, the Bengal Chamber has played pioneering role in henceman steering the evolution of commerce and industry in India. During its multiple roles as catalyst, initiator, facilitator, business partner, and service provider, the Chamber has helped the government both in center and in creating pioneering and significant legislations, and also in formalizing a slew of educational and cultural institutions. The Chamber has envisioned reviving the legacy of West Bengal and reinventing it as a knowledge destination with an aspiration to transform West Bengal as one of the knowledge hub. It's my great pleasure to also introduce a topic which possibly has not been debated and discussed. The topic is the polymaths. Education is the foundation of the economic prosperity of the nation, and the true aim is to upskill the human mind in diverse directions. So adapting the ever-changing educational trends and idea is the most important part of the sustainable growth. And we at Bengal Chamber are constantly working towards this mission to make this possible. Polymaths are the new leaders. They are reshaping the future of education. A polymath is a person of vast knowledge and experience, a person who knows a lot about many different subjects. They continuously challenge themselves to grasp different concepts and aiming to detect the common thread between them and integrate many disciplines around a core idea. It's creating pathways for unsought career paths. The conventional way of teaching and learning has become redundant, and innovation and accepting change has now become the prerequisite for sustenance in the 21st century education system. The need of the hour is imbibing this new technology in education to usher a bright future. Our conference this year aims to focus on the impact of multidisciplinary immersive learning on the future of education, to understand the dynamics, to bring the centrality of polymathy to the debate on quality education and a prodigious significance in sustaining mankind in the coming years. So this would be an absolutely incredible day, because the first time in Calcutta at least, there is a full day of annual conference organized by Bengal Chamber dealing with a very, very contemporary issue, polymaths, and how the future generation of our young people become exponent of polymaths. Ladies and gentlemen, with this word, I, on behalf of the Bengal Chamber of Commerce, welcome all of you, and it's lovely to have you on this day, and I hope that it's going to be an excellent conference. We have some excellent speakers from all over the world, and from people coming from different facets of education and technological field. So have a great day, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Bose. I would now request Sri Alapan Bandopadhyay, IAS, Additional Chief Secretary, Department of Industry and Commerce and Enterprises, and Micro and Small Scale Enterprises and Textiles, Government of West Bengal, to deliver his keynote address.
His Excellency, the Governor of West Bengal, and distinguished members on the dais and in the audience. Polymathy in antiquity was largely a result of an undifferentiated, unicellular, amoebic kind of a view of human life. In ancient Greece, they lived in city-states. Scale of exposure was virtually limited to the Mediterranean world. The credo to live by was, as statesman Pericles had put it, happy versatility, And the really intense thinkers wanted to understand all the varied, versatile aspects of life in the manner of one omnibus book with several volumes. Aristotle therefore wrote treatises on subjects ranging from physics to metaphysics, logic to poetics, rhetoric to politics, psychology to economics. He influenced all subsequent Western philosophy for centuries, Christianity and Islam for centuries, and the all-pervasive influence of his polymathy remained practically unchallenged till the advent of modern sciences with all their rigorous specializations. But before the demise of this kind of polymathy in the lanes and bylanes of science and technology during scientific and industrial revolutions, Renaissance humanism had once again rekindled the practice of encyclopedic learning, which is polymathy is all about. Modern Renaissance humanism's greatest universal genius was Leonardo da Vinci, whose contributions were equally significant in painting and sculpting, music and mathematics, science and engineering. Like Aristotle, Da Vinci traversed many domains. Unlike Aristotle, he also delved into scientific and technical actual innovations too. The scientific and industrial revolutions of the 18th and 19th centuries and the concomitant liberal bourgeois revolutions found their expressions and critiques in another kind of ethical philosophical polymathy, the kind of worldview represented in the 19th century by Hegel and Marx, etc. Hegel's March of the Zeitgeist and Marx's March of the Proletariat were both deep generalized assimilations of some fundamental achievements and failures of their contemporary world society as a whole. If these views were too Eurocentric, there was another locus of polymathy in the colonized East, where patriotic humanism combined with ethical internationalism to produce polymaths like Rabindranath Tagore. Today's digital revolution has, however, been striking at the roots of this classically conceived polymathy. The changes ushered in by this new information and communications technology revolution are too fast, too sweeping, too blitzkrieg in nature to be amenable to simplistic understanding, but a quick overview of the literature on the subject probably brings out the following important highlights of the ongoing digital information revolution. 1. The seat of the knowledge revolution this time is America. Up to the second industrial revolution, the locale was primarily Europe, and most knowledge disruptions, even those caused by Darwin and Freud, were parts of long classical Euro-Asian discourses and were hence somehow or other linked with great polymathic ways of looking at life. The digital revolutionaries of today do not care about this longue durée backdrop. 2. The persona of the typical digital revolutionary today can be described as avant-garde. Genius, often from the days of adolescence, often dropouts like Bill Gates. He left Harvard in his junior year in 1975. Sometimes also with troubled childhood like Steve Jobs, who was not only a dropout, but also a child abandoned by his natural parents. These digital revolutionaries now look like romantic poets out on the streets to celebrate their self-conscious, collective, eccentric, and creative superiority. As Joe wrote this ode, quote, "Here is to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes. While some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius, unquote. 3. Notwithstanding above, in sharp contrast to the most avant-garde poets or composers of yesteryears, the vanguards of the digital revolution today are not really poor bohemians, but incredibly entrepreneurial and super rich. In their own lifetime, in the span of 2-3 decades of their early and mature youth, these digital cult figures have created fabulous wealth for themselves, for their peers, for their followers, out of their own reservoirs of disruptive knowledge. Google, Facebook, Microsoft, Apple, Tesla, Amazon, Uber, these are all disruptive technologies converted to instant, stupendous entrepreneurial success. 4. This success has come because it has empowered the consumers globally. The consumers have felt sovereign, have become sovereign with the unfettering, the unshackling caused by the emancipatory technologies. The processes that have been unleashed have often enabled the consumer to get a thing instantly, throwing away the claims of old institutions, habits, clients, and stakeholders. 5. The proponents of these disruptive technologies are, however, not overtly bothered by the impact of these great disruptions on the old institutions or fabric of relations that they uproot. Many of the technology entrepreneurs are kind persons, giving away much of their income to charity, which is a noble thing. But in their knowledge entrepreneurial invasions, they are usually imperious and sometimes even innocent or directly violative of existing regulations. When I was Transport Secretary, I had this ongoing debate and discourse with Uber, who would often challenge the existing regulations, and the national policy head, Chand Tulal Mojumdar, a member of your chamber, would tell me that innovations can happen only when creativity is allowed in an unhindered manner. And while I agree, I add that if polymathic appreciations could accompany disruptive creativity from the very beginning, so much would have been better for mankind. Finally, there I rest my case. Deep generalization, polymathy, encyclopedic humanism, broad-based appreciation of arts, literature and culture, sensitive study of state and society, these are all important things. Global empowerment of the sovereign consumer communicator is a fantastic thing that is happening today. But in some or other form, there must be an antidote of, or at least a supplementary dose of, some humane generalization to contain, hold, anchor, and direct the ongoing disruptions. Fortunately for us, the democratization of knowledge that the digital revolution is causing can lead to democratization of polymathy too. Instead of great individual polymaths of the past, our age may probably evolve and look forward to democratized and maybe institutionalized seats of polymathy, seats of generalized humanist breaks on outbursts of specialist knowledge. Like internal auditors, we could have internal polymaths in every great organization. Like elementary civic sense, some elementary polymathy sense could be injected in young minds by the education system. We could go on. I'm sure this August conference arranged by this very ancient chamber, which makes us proud, will deliberate on all these possibilities now. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bandopadhyay, on talk about the various aspects of polymathy. And thank you very much for actually setting the tone for today's conference. I would now request Sri Shottam Rai Chaudhuri, Co-Chairperson, Education Committee, the Bengal Chamber of Commerce, and Chancellor, Sister Nivedita University, and Co-Founder and Managing Director of Techno India Group. Mr. Rai Chaudhuri, please.
Very good morning. Respected Honorable Governor of West Bengal, Sri Kesharinath Tripathi ji, Dr. Subarna Bose, Chairperson, Education Committee, Bengal Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and Chief Mentor, International Institute of Hotel Management, Professor Bikash Sinha, Sri Alapan Bandyopadhyay, Professor Shoikat Mitra, Sri Amitabh Datta, Mr. Simritpreet Singh, members, guests from the industry and academia, members of the media, friends. First, I would like to convey our sincere thanks and gratitude to our Honorable Governor for his kind presence in this inaugural session. Thank you, sir. The true aim of today's education is to upskill the human mind in diverse dimensions, develop the ability to deal with problems, and arrive at innovative solutions. Rethinking, redefining, and rebooting of education is the need of the hour to keep pace with ever-changing societal norms and to cope with the new age of challenges. Need for polymaths or person with wide knowledge of many different subjects is the need of the hour. Polymaths continuously challenges themselves to grasp concepts of different disciplines around a core idea. The traditional idea of a specialization is fading away, giving rise to the new age idea of blurring the boundaries between different disciplines and different skill sets. The future of education is linked to the emergence of artificial intelligence and digital learning, which will create a vast array of new possibilities in education. Technological advancement have led to the emergence of virtual reality, augmented reality, digital learning, robotics, and artificial intelligence, which are reshaping the future of education. These new technologies in education are set to usher a future with truly limitless opportunities for the students of today and tomorrow. This signals a new dawn, a better future. Today's conference aims to focus on the impact of multidisciplinary learning on the future of education and to bring quality education. The conference will witness a special curated program bringing together the industry, learning, and academia. Inspirational personalities and thought leaders will all be a part of the conference to minds that this summit will bring about. Thanking you all. Namaskar.
Thank you, Mr. Roy Chaudhuri. I would now request Professor Bikash Sinha to kindly address the audience, please.
Your Excellency, the Governor of West Bengal, distinguished speakers in the dais, delegates, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a pleasure to come and talk to you briefly And I take this opportunity to start with, congratulate this very well-known and historic Bengal Chamber of Commerce, who took the initiative to organize a seminar on a subject of crucial importance in today's India. I have a viewpoint which I'd like to express, which may be considered as a little old-fashioned. Although, might I add, I have been involved with teaching and research for the last 45 years or so. Polymath is a person of wide learning and knowledge, and certainly not necessarily a storehouse of information alone. My distinguished teacher, late Prashant Chandra Mahalanobis, metamorphosized the traditional saying, "Jack of all trades, master of none," to a concept called Master Jack, the most compelling definition of a polymath. A polymath, by definition, has to be a great teacher, communicator, and master of pedagogy. Socrates, as was tangentially mentioned by Alpan Bandyopadhyay, was a polymath, a great polymath, but Einstein was not. Einstein used to forget his own work. Total concentration he used to use to do his work, which cut out any digression. He was a genius. Rabindranath Tagore, as was mentioned also, was the rarest person in this context who managed to fuse his heightened polymathy and immeasurable creativity, result of which unique educational forum, Vishwabharati, well before his time, maybe in not so distant a future, this unique manner of teaching may find its deserved recognition and not wallow in singular quarrelsome atmosphere. Just think about it. The entire singularity of nature, education, students, and nature live together, which means it induces the students to be a part of nature while learning new things in their life. Frankly, to bring in a contemporary bogus but advanced technology to the arena of education may have become fashionable, but it serves, in my opinion, no purpose. No digital class can replace actual real class. Real interaction, and not virtual, is an essential ingredient for a sound and wholesome education. Two-way interaction between the teacher and a student is a must. And not just a flow of information, but exchange of ideas and knowledge. We don't want to create educated morons driven by technology alone, but we want to create cultivated, knowledgeable humans who can think, and who can think very clearly. Please, please, don't distort normal, healthy, natural humans to unnatural, abnormal, and even human humans by excessive use of technology. And this I say, having used technology most of my professional life. Please don't allow technology to conquer the spirit of human mind. Technology cannot be allowed to destroy the ecology of the humans, driven by the rushing waves of fashion. artificial intelligence is no match for the real intelligence. I would like to remind you, a human being only uses 1/3 or 1/4 of the brain capacity, plenty to extend. We have to thus design a system of education with realistic interaction between the teacher and the student as a critical component, which we have to develop. And I cannot think of the use of polymathy more so than today. Specialized knowledge is okay, but up to a point. Today, with the explosion of information, polymathy is a must quality for most human beings in society. I will end my brief exposition with a quote from the British-American poet Thomas S. Eliot. The endless cycle of idea and action, endless invention, endless experiment, brings knowledge of motion, but not of stillness, knowledge of speech, but not of science, knowledge of words, and ignorance of the word. What is the life we have lost in living? What is the wisdom we have lost in knowledge? And what is the knowledge we have lost in information? With those words, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure this seminar will be a great success, and we shall have some wisdom in our mind to look to the future with a great deal of hope and understanding. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your words of wisdom. And may I now request Professor Shoykot Mitra, Vice Chancellor, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad University of Technology of West Bengal. Professor Mitra, please.
His Excellencies, Sri Keshrinath Tripathi, Honorable Governor of West Bengal, and at the same time, Chancellor of my university, Dr. Subarna Bose, Chairman of Education Committee, the Bengal Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Sri Alapan Bandopadhyay, IAS, Additional Chief Secretary, Department of Industry, Commerce and Enterprise and Micro and Small Enterprise and Textiles, Government of West Bengal, Sri Sattam Rai Chaudhuri, Co-Chairpersons, Education Committee, the Bengal Chamber, and Chancellor of Sister Nivedita University and Co-Founder and Managing Director of Techno India Group, Professor Bikash Sinha, Padma Bhushan, INSA Honorary Scientist and former Homi Bhabha Professor DE, former Director, Shah Institute of Nuclear Physics and Variable Energy Cyclotron Center, and Mr. Amitabh Datta, Director, Calcutta Media Institute, and all the dignitaries present at the auditorium. I was not quite sure and informed about the topic of today, but after coming over this and hearing from all these dignitaries and experts, I would like to share my views and thoughts in this particular subjects. You see, this is the time, this is which can be called, following Charles Dickens' line, the best of time and worst of time. Why I am saying so? Because of these disruptions which happened over worldwide of technology revolution. We admit or do not admit, it doesn't matter, but the phenomenal changes for this technological revolution which has taken place in every sphere of our life, that needs to be acknowledged. And our education system is no exception. It is a time of wisdom, not intelligence. Artificial intelligence, again I am saying, we admit or do not admit, it will take over many of the existing practices. So this is a time of interface of natural and artificial intelligence. This is a time of cyber-physical interface. So many things are happening, and The deluge has arrived here. What is if we look at India, this is an unique thing, a country with a unique demography, a unique variety of natural resources, and in all spheres, be it culture, be it economic strata, everywhere you will find this unique diversity. And here lies our opportunity. Because you say this is a time of blended learning. No problem is existing in isolation. No subject is existing in isolation. We cannot solve a single problem with one-dimensional concept or idea. Science, arts, technology, management, everything are getting blended, getting mixed up. India is a country with, this unique heritage, land of historical importance. But I can share with you some data that out of 200,000 historical monuments and artifacts and relics, only 10 to 20% is being taken care of by government. Now, you see, history, earlier it was history only, but now it has have been affected by the advent of information science and all other latest state-of-the-art technologies. Restoration of all these monuments, all these artifacts, by capturing of images, by processing of images, by machine learning, by creation of three-dimensional virtual image, and then reconstruction with the latest state-of-the-art technologies using nanotechnology and all the technology. This is the reality. So history needs to be revived and restored with the help of all these technologies. These examples can be extended for many cases. Our geographies, our natural resources, all our these forecastings, weather forecastings, all our water resources, reserves, how this can be assessed, identified, integrated with the help of image processing, geoinformatics, and signal processing. These are subjects. These are new subjects, new professions. Children which are going to school nowadays, when they will be joining their job, this professional life, most of these jobs which are existing nowadays will no longer exist. This is a reality. But how best all the problems, all the opportunities can be embraced using our own education systems. There lies our challenge, there lies our wisdom. And this polymath, means persons with the knowledge, wide knowledge in different fields. That is the requirement. We need to identify, we need to look at a problem from different perspectives. It is being said that there is no bad student, only bad teacher. Many of our, these young people, they could not become successful because of the problem not existing with them, because of the problem existing in the system. We could not identify the potential where a person can apply his best. And there are, this 360-degree approach for everything. And all skill, right, storytelling, arts, painting, music, everything has importance now. Why I am saying so? The classroom teaching, this is going to take a new step because of digital democracy. Different verticals, all of you most probably know, different verticals of digital systems, particularly massive online open courses, cloud computing, learning management systems, mobile learning, all these are going to affect our traditional teaching learning system. And there, what will be the role of our teacher? The role of our teacher is basically going to be the role of mentor. They have to apply their wisdom. many times I tell, we persons of our age, because we are digital immigrant, persons of this generation, students, youngsters of this generation, they are digital native. So their skills, their aptitude is of no match. I made one experiment a few days before. I invited some of our first year and second year students who have just took admission to our engineering programs and completed maybe 1 or 2 semesters to deliver lectures in cyber security. And not only me, but all our faculty members and all our experts who are present over there, they are amazed to see the level of confidence, the level of grasping of these young students. So it is the strength of the youngsters, but the strength of people like us is our wisdom. How best we can guide them, how best we can direct them, how best we can show them that this is their problems and there your skill, your potential will be required. Here you see, even after 70 years of independence, we have lots of problems. India is going to be hit by worst acute water crisis in coming days. So how best we are applying our all, this traditional knowledge, skills, digital knowledge, our all sorts of training and learning, teaching, learning, research and everything to take care of these problems in the coming days. That is a challenge. Then questions of food security, healthcare. In near future, there will be no difference between a doctor and an engineer. Because of this digital health and all these subjects, many of this existing practice of medical practice, these are going to be changed. Robotic surgery now is a reality. From next year or maybe after 1 or 2 years, it will be economic also. More precision surgery through robots and all these things, that will happen. All these informations, all these body parameters, how best that can be captured, that can be analyzed, that can be taken care of, geriatrics management, everything is now going to appear as a subject. So how we have to integrate all these things, how we have to see the problems and how best all these latest technologies and all these things that can be applied to solve these problems. There lies our wisdom. There lies our, this what we call so-called polymath approach in solving this problem. Another example I would like to share, like you see, if we talk about food grains, we are not producing, we are producing abundance of food grains, but in terms of distribution, in terms of supply, this is a real problem. A few days before, probably you have seen in Maharashtra, onions were, cultivated in huge quantity. But because of this poor management of storage and distributions, that ultimately the fate of this onion was that were dumped on the road and these were used as cow fodder at Haryana. But there, if we apply all our technological strength to take extract of this onion to make it, this dried onion to reduce the volume and to make packaging, preservation, all these things, then it will not only solve the economic problem, but will also at the same time, these maldistributions and all these things which are happening as a consequence of these things, the suicide of the farmers and of these things, this will not happen. Each and every, this natural resource can be preserved using latest state-of-the-art technologies in an integrated fashion, integrated manner. And that will not only improve the economic scenario, that will also, generate new professions. And at the same time, whatever is the problem right now, this hunger index and all these things, that can be taken care of. So keeping this in view, we have started from our university systems, not only but this entire Indian education systems, particularly professional, technical, management, all these education systems, to take a blended approach, a comprehensive approach and 360-degree approach. How best these students, these future generations can be empowered with the help of multi-dimensional education, training and research. to take care of all the social problems, all these economic problems, and all these all other forms of problems which are existing in this country. So I believe this will be after this, this will be an interesting and exciting discussions. But what I am foreseeing that now we need to work together as a group, as a community. There is our major lacuna. Individually, we are brilliant, bright. Some of us, we are very exceptional. But as a community, we are not being able to do something great and this excellent till now because of this this peer culture. So how best we can integrate our knowledge, how best we can go for synergistic situation for this whatever is their polymath and polymath approach and all these things to solve these problems, that needs to be this design, and we have to work on the direction. Thank you all.
Thank you, Professor Moitro. I now request His Excellency Sri Kesarinath Tripathi, Governor of West Bengal, to kindly give his keynote address.
Shri Alapan Bandyopadhyay, Additional Chief Secretary, Department of Industry, Commerce and Enterprises, and Micro and Small Scale Enterprises and Textiles, Government of West Bengal. Professor Vikas Sinha, Padma Bhushan, Shri Amitabh Datta, Director, Calcutta Media Hospital Institute, Dr. Subarno Bose, Chairman, Education Committee, BCCI, Shri Satyam Rai Chaudhary, Co-Chairperson, Education Committee, BCSCI, Shri Samarpreet Singh Ji, Professor Saikat Mitra, distinguished dignitaries, distinguished invitees, ladies and gentlemen. I am thankful to the Bengal Chamber of Commerce and Industry for inviting me to this annual education conference. The subject of today's discussion, 21st Century Realities and Learning, Creating More Polymaths, is of vital importance, focusing value-based excellence in education expected to lead to innovation, employment, and entrepreneurship. The Education Committee of this chamber deserves all praise for choosing this subject. The level, direction, and dimension of education are some of the most important indexes of any developed and progressive society. The true aim of education is to upskill the human mind in diverse dimensions and develop the ability to deal with problems and arrive at innovative solutions. Confining education only to a few limited directions may result into only a partial growth of the society. Education has never been static. Researchers in different disciplines of education have made it more dynamic, innovative, and prompting the educationists and the students to deeper studies, the resultant whereof has been the discovery and growth of micro-disciplines in several fields. As the society changes, its needs also change, and new challenges emerge that require new methodology to face them. Ambitions of the people take new and sometimes unknown turns, and societal norms also see transformation, reflecting new demands. All these require new approach, necessitating transformation of educational norms. As a result, new concepts may come into existence. Taking into consideration all these aspects, there appears to be the need for rethinking, redefining, and rebooting of education in such a manner that it can successfully combat the situation. Consequently, a wider range of knowledge and learning is the need of the time so that it may rekindle the creative and innovative minds of the future generations. Polymaths are the new leaders. They are reshaping the future of education. A polymath is a person of vast knowledge and experience, a person who knows a lot about many different subjects. They continuously challenge themselves to grasp different concepts and aim to detect the common thread between them and integrate many disciplines around a core idea. It is creating pathways for unsought career paths. The traditional idea of a specialization is fading away, giving rise to the new age ideas of blurring the boundaries between different disciplines and different skill sets, but it does not minimize or affect the advantages of specialization. The future of education is inherently linked to the accelerated emergence of artificial intelligence and digital learning, which will potentially change the fundamental dynamics of education and create a vast array of new possibilities in education. Virtual reality and digital classes are totally changing the conventional idea of imparting education, bringing in an immersive environment which enables the learning to be an experience. This digital generation is now more dependent on learning by experience, bringing all the senses into play. The conventional way of teaching learning has become redundant, and innovation and accepting change have now become the prerequisites for sustenance in the 21st century education system. Technological advancements have made it imperative that teaching, learning, research, and innovation has to be more interdisciplinary. Institutions will need to emphasize their role shaping future technology by being the test beds for innovation. I understand that this conference aims to focus on the impact of multidisciplinary immersive learning on the future of education, to bring the centrality of polymathic to the debate on quality education and its prodigious significance in sustaining mankind in the coming years. I wish this conference all the success. Thank you for inviting me here. Thank you. Jai Bharat.
Thank you, sir. And I would now request Mr. Simarpreet Singh, Vice Chairman, Education Committee, the Bengal Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Director, GIS Group, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good morning, everyone. It is my great pleasure in delivering this formal vote of thanks. It is the support and the cooperation of all the stakeholders that we have embarked on our Education Conference 2019, presented to you by Bengal Chamber of Commerce and Industry. The Chamber's vision is to bring the centrality of polymathy to the discourse on quality students and understand the impact of multidisciplinary immersive learning on the future of education. We do believe that the programs like today create a forum to unite the educators of the world who need to educate the learners to be creators rather than just the consumers of technology. It is a great honor that His Excellency Shri Keshari Nath Tripathi, Honorable Governor of West Bengal, has very kindly graced the occasion. We are also thankful to Shri Alapan Bandyopadhyay, IS Additional Chief Secretary, Department of Industry, Commerce and Enterprise, and we are also privileged to have the kind presence of Professor Vikas Sinha, Padma Bhushan, INSA Honorary Scientist, and also Professor Saikat Maitro, Vice Chancellor, Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad, University of Technology. We would like to thank all the speakers and panelists for our subsequent sessions. The essence of the program is only built up with your presence and contributions. We would also like the sponsors, without whose help this program would have not been successful. Brought to you by International Institute of Hotel Management, Sister Nivedita University, JS University, supported by Calcutta Public School, Excite Industries Limited, International Combustion, National High School, Om Daya School of Institution, and Shri Shiksha Yatan Foundation. Heartful thanks to all the persons who have finally consented today. And last but not least, we want to thank the media and the audience for coming in today. Thank you so much.
I would now request Dr. Suparna Bose, Mr. Shottam Rai Chaudhary, and Mr. Simarpreet Singh to please felicitate His Excellency, the Governor of West Bengal, Sri Keshrinath Tripathi. I would now request Dr. Bose to please felicitate Mr. Alapan Bandyopadhyay.
Would request you all to please take your seat and not to leave the banquet hall. The delegates who are approaching outside would request you to please be seated. Governor is right now leaving. The next session would be on the topic itself. Yes, creating more polymaths, the new leaders. We are happy to have in this session Mr. Anindya Ghosh, who is the Global Market Leader, Pfizer and Watson Health Leader, Cognitive Business Decision Support, IBM India Private Limited. Mr. Paul Walsh, MBE Managing Trustee, Founder, Jungle Crows. Dr. Shuman Kumar Mukherjee, Director General, the Bhawanipur Education Society College. And this session would be moderated by none other than our Chairman of the Education Committee, Dr. Suparna Bose. I would request all the panelists of this session to be on the dais, and also would request the delegates and our esteemed guests to please take your seats and give us the opportunity to start off the next session. As you know, that we are trying to stick to our time as much as possible and would not like to delay our session due to any kind of disruption. So request your cooperation. I request Dr. Shuman Kumar Mukherjee to be on the dais. Mr. Paul Walsh, Managing Trustee, Founder, Jungle Crows. Mr. Anindya Ghosh, Professor Ajoy Roy. We are very much honored to have Professor Ajoy Kumar Roy, IIT Kharagpur. Sir has been very kind to us. He has come all the way from Kharagpur today. Request Dr. Bose to come up on the dais and start the session. Those who are still moving or talking with some other guest would request you to please take it offline so that we can start our next session. Thank you.